Everyone.
Hi guys.
How's it going?
It's time for your weeklies. Here we are.
We are here, darlings.
How is this Virgo season working out for you guys? Oh my goodness.
We are
deep into it now.
Sorry.
It's like what's today?
The 10th.
The 10th. Okay, the 10th.
September 10th, y'all.
September 10th, new beginnings and completions. That's what 10 is. I said that and a card flipped out. New beginnings, yes. Okay, 10 is talking about a completion of things, right? Perfected works. Interesting. Okay.
Actually, I'm going to put it back in, but we're going to look at that. It's the King of Cups, so this is...
King of Cups.
Water.
So that's like maybe some people or most people are like, the theme overall is talking about fixed emotions as well.
Right.
It could also be talking about a male in your life who can affect you emotionally or be emotionally manipulative somehow or cunning somehow. Any type of way that would be like your emotions would be around it.
Right.
Maybe you love them, or maybe you can't trust them, or anything that affects your emotions. Hi, Virgo. Okay.
Hello, darlings.
Welcome, welcome. We're about to do the weeklies. So you're about to find out what's going on this week. I just got a new tarot deck, which I'm very excited to announce that I will be incorporating into some of my readings now.
Y'all.
It is a Botanicals, and it's by Lynn Araujo. Yeah, it's a very beautiful tarot deck. You see the flowers there. Yeah, so I'm going to be using this as well as some of my other decks. You know, I have a couple different ones we both do. We use an array. The Goddess Tarot, the well-known. Lenormand, I have some Sibylla. I use normally the Psychic Tarot and the Right Away Radiant. Those are kind of my traditional ones. But now I'm going to be incorporating flowers in. And with Gemini rising, Venus and Leo for me, they're sextile to each other. So using flowers and using beauty in these ways to explain things works out really well for me. Hi.
What's going on, everyone? I just don't know.
So what's going on, everyone? I actually I shuffled the cards to have a theme for the week, for the weekly. And from that botanical deck, you got the asters. Everybody got the asters, okay? The Callistiphus, all right? The Callistiphus, which are the asters, is related to Virgo, ironically, right? The story of it is related to Virgo, and it's the time of Virgo. Right. It's talking about when the constellation of Virgo was created, some of the asters and the residue that was sprinkled down from the stars fell down onto the earth and then started to sprout these beautiful purple flowers called asters. That's the Greek and Roman mythology behind this. And it's talking about pleasant surprises. It's talking about letting life surprise you. It's talking about elegance and the way that you approach things in your life and progression in the things that you need to do. And staying focused, staying patient. And the quote here, which I love so much, is a very classic quote that says, nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished.
All right.
Right? Very true.
On that note, y'all, we're going to look at what's at the bottom of this deck. And some cards popped out, and I just felt like putting it back in, both of them, and then shuffling it all over again, and now here we are. And that's fine, too, because if anything wants to come back out, it will. Now, at the bottom of the deck is the High Priestess, right? So this is a deeper knowing. This is kind of like things kind of coming into a level of understanding for you that you always kind of like felt it would be, right? Eventually. It's like an eventful.
It's definitely listening to the deeper parts of yourself that maybe you don't convey to other people. The deeper truths in yourself. And it's also recognizing motives. Recognizing your motives or recognizing another person's motives or ulterior motives in general. Especially because while he was shuffling, the King of Cups fell out. Right. Which is already a very intense water card. It's it's fixed, and it's water, and it's air water, because the kings are air and the cups are water. So it's like your mind being fixed on something emotional.
Hello, guys.
Hi. We're just now about to start, so you guys haven't missed anything yet, okay?
All right, so the readings are going to start at 5 minutes. Here we are. So you guys can tag that or, put that in the comments if you want to. Yeah, so you guys got that info on the card of the week. Elegance and patience, right? So it's like time is elegant. Yes, Saturn is very elegant.
Saturn can be very elegant because he moves very slowly with things, right?
Neptune is very glamorous too because this is the moon, this is Pisces as well, that type of energy. So we're still dealing with the Pisces full moon, right? You guys are starting to have realizations of things that you always, like I said before.
It's interesting. Pisces, Virgo.
I know, yeah.
New moon, full moon.
It's that opposing energy. And it's like, wow. Pisces is very psychic, right? And Mother Earth is very psychic to herself because she's able to like grow all of these things that we need to sustain.
She created us.
Right, exactly.
It's like the mother knows.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like trying to hide something from your mom.
And one thing that I heard from some scientists
when you're young especially
is that Saturn actually in astronomy has something to do with the Earth's existence. Right? If it weren't for Saturn and if it weren't for Jupiter, the Earth actually wouldn't even be here. So it's talking about the process of things. And you know how fucking long it takes for something like this to happen?
Long time. Okay.
You can't even conceive. Right. All right, let's go ahead. Aries. Whoa.
Okay, Aries, first card out. Weekly, you got your card.
Emperor. So you guys are really assertive. You're making bold plans and your efforts are really generating some steam, right?
Okay, so this being the first card out for you guys. Hi. This is Aries.
Arcana.
It's Major Arcana, so it's a major week for you. And it's your card.
Right.
Like it's you. It's your card. So this is like very much saying whatever it is that you've been building is coming to a head probably. Maybe there's been a lot of anticipation around something that you're constructing because Aries is always trying to really kind of construct and strive towards something, the Emperor. So you really feel like you need to be really aggressive somehow this week.
Right.
You may be feeling aggressive. You may be getting some just rewards or really trying to really plant yourself in something that you feel firm about or really just be yourself. It's very yang this week. So it's like you are putting a lot of things into motion.
Right.
Maybe you're sending a lot of emails.
Right.
Maybe you're making a lot of phone calls. Maybe you're communicating a lot with people. But there's a lot of like whatever it is that you want, fundraising thing, project, short-term ceremony, whatever it is, trip. You're really like putting a lot of energy into it right now. Maybe it's just a concert and it's a goal and you have to save for it and you want to know who's going with you or whatever. But it is definitely, it could have to do with another person or your father. It could be a heavy week somehow in relationship with your father or a mentor, somebody who's older than you that knows more than you and somehow affects you.
Yeah, I feel like you guys are really standing in your power because you have been through a lot recently. And I feel like you guys are really standing strong in your power. You have a foundation, now you have a platform that you can stand on and you can see a little bit further out into the future for yourself. You are realizing that the efforts and the plans that you've set in place are actually going to benefit you. You're realizing that, as long as you practice your patience and you acknowledge the things that need to be acknowledged and you delegate in an intelligent way, then you'll be able to really manifest the things that you deeply desire. Right? Because you thought that things were maybe not going to work because you were in a position of authority and you seem to have felt like if anything were to go wrong, it would be on you. But now that you have the confidence after the fact, you're realizing that you can actually handle these situations where you are put in a position of authority.
Right. And in relationship to whatever it is that you're building and the asters being the bottom, this is a really great time to try to perfectly communicate whatever it is because Mercury is in Virgo now.
This is good for all of us too, right? Because it's like if you want to think about all 12 of your houses, start here where Aries is. But that's for some of you who think a little bit more advanced about astrology. So now we're at Taurus, honey. Wow. We only have major arcanas now. The Sun card, honey, number 19. 1 and 9 is 10.
Another major week.
Today is the 10th. We're talking about completions, honey. But these completions are really for what it's worth. You know what I mean? Like, you have the Sun in the position of Taurus, okay? So Tauruses, you guys are really standing strong in what you believe in right now. Because last week, you may have gotten like the 5 of Pentacles. So it was like you were thinking...
Last week or the week before?
It was the week before that because last week we used the Angel Power Tarot deck. But... you know, you guys are definitely feeling creative. You're feeling the force of the energy inside of you. You're trusting in your beliefs that you do have the capabilities to achieve something. The Leo energy is very special. And it's one that, you know, for Taurus, Taurus wants everyone to be comfortable and they want to be comfortable as well. But then at the same time, Taurus also wants what's best for everyone like Leo does. You know, it's that fixed energy of being able to share the wealth.
Yeah, this is a major week of awareness for you because that's really what the Sun is talking about. And even if something feels like it's getting dried out from awareness, like you're so aware of something that is starting to cause a certain type of heatedness, either like a greater love or a greater anger inside of you, really, it's really just talking about looking at this as a transition of some sort. There's definitely some type of growth that can come out of this, especially if it's an awareness with another person, right? There could be some type of awareness that's going on that you just can't look back from. Maybe before you were trying to like not look at it as much. And now you and maybe everybody else knows, because the Sun, it's like, it's out there in the open.
Right.
It's very open.
You need to put more energy into the process. That's what I'm getting. Because it's like this, like he said, the Sun gives us energy, but it's only energy if we use it in the way that it's appropriated, right? You want to use it to generate something. Use this energy. Don't let it go to waste.
It's also like, I mean, it's also just a flashlight of information, right? Because this is right before Pluto comes with atonement. So the awareness of it is like, we could have been in the dark about something, or you could have been in the dark about something, and now you're woke to it. Like someone, either you have, or someone else has, or you found out something, or somebody said something, and it's very clear how everybody feels.
Clarity.
Right.
If there was fog, now it's clear. Okay, Gemini. Another major arcana card.
Another major arcana card. And it's Virgo.
And it's Virgo.
Everything's been major arcana so far. It's a major week for everybody so far. Very cool. Very, very crazy and cool. But this is progressive from you, Gemini, so this is good. Maybe you're learning how to communicate better, which is really vital for you because you need to connect with people more than other signs do. So how do you connect with people? Because your deepest desire is to be understood. So if you're not being understood, that's usually coming from your ability to communicate what it is that needs to be conveyed. So in this particular case, it's saying that maybe you're having some epiphanies about a relationship with someone or about yourself this week. There could be also some letting go. Virgo always talks about letting go. That's really what the 9 is about and what Virgo is about. Maybe you were holding on to situations in a major way, and now there's some type of progression that's happening, maybe even on a physical plane, where there's some type of transition happening on a physical plane. You could either have to go off, or the situation could change somehow. You have your eye focused, or you have hope for something.
Right.
And that thing that you have hope for, it really has kind of more to do with with yourself.
I feel like right now, Gemini, you're really conscious of decisions and choices that are actually going to make a difference, right? Because the Hermit is talking about going inward and making these assessments so you can have these realizations. And it's not like how Pisces might try to avoid something and so that it won't be victimized by the experience. You know, Virgo isn't going to be victimized by an experience because they're going to want to get through the process of why they feel victimized and do something about it, right? It's about being productive. So Gemini, you're not going to really be able to kind of like be very circular and pussyfoot around and just spin around in circles, because now is the time to stop, make a very intelligent acknowledgement of something, you know, practice your discernment, but also you need to get into the routine of what it means for you to get better, because that's really what Virgo teaches us, is how to get better in a material way. How can you make a situation better, one that you're already kind of existing in, right? Because it's within a process. You guys are getting to the end of a process, kind of, so that you can actually find a better way to, you know, stand on your own 2 feet and create more opportunities after this process has come to a conclusion.
Definitely a process, because Virgo is here twice. So Virgo season for you guys is very important right now. I mean, it's important in general just because Virgo is your sister sign that shares Mercury, and it's older than you, which means it's a little bit wiser with certain things. Like Virgo's just not about communicating just to communicate. Virgo's about communicating a point that's going to land and that's going to be progressive. We're not just talking to talk, we're talking to problem solve. That's very Virgo.
There's purpose there, because, you know, sometimes with Gemini, there's not much purpose, but there's a lot of, you know, practice of what?
All right, Cancer. It's another major arcana card. It's what?
Did you see? I put those other 2 cards back in there, and then I shuffled the deck again, and now we're just...
There's a lot going on. And look, this I will recap with you guys, because I do have a new tarot deck, the Botanicals. And for some of you that just joined in, this was the card of the week, which is Virgo. Actually, Virgo related. This card is Virgo related. So this card, which is the Asters, which is the Callistophus, which is really talking about all of us thinking about progression and letting life surprise you and keep working at something and having the patience towards it. So now I'm taking this card in relationship to Cancer. So here we go. Major Arcana card for everybody that's come out this week. Cancer, you got Leo. That's progressive from you as well, right? So a lot of signs are getting some things that are progressive from them. So interesting, one, Taurus got the Sun, and you got Leo. So, you know, there could be some type of connection with Taurus, Cancer. You are very compatible with Taurus.
That's very fertile energy.
And your moon, I mean, the moon, which rules Cancer, is exalted in Taurus. Right, so you could, a Taurus and a Cancer could really be benefiting from each other in a major way this week. The Taurus could have some type of awareness, and the Cancer could have the courage to do whatever it is that they both need to do together. That's just something to think of. Now, Cancer, back to you. This week is talking about having the courage in yourself to do what you already knew you could do all along. And that's really what this is talking about. Because the Strength card is talking about new beginnings happening, and they're happening inside of yourself. They may be happening outside of yourself too, depending on where your planets lie. But it's definitely happening inside of your heart, because the Strength card is related to Leo, which is related to the heart. Your dreams, your hopes, your desires, your legacy, your children, your family, what you want, what you're loyal to, right? That's what all of this is talking about. And the union between you, those things, and yourself, and why you do the things you do. This is a very much like about gratitude and appreciation and understanding that it's up to me, that I can control these things and that I can make things happen that don't have anything to do with brute force, right? It's not about me being a big, strong person who can pick this thing up and make it happen, right? If I know some people who have a car and they need this thing to happen, I need this to go there, I need this thing to be taller, shorter, whatever. If I can connect with people and make those emotions, you know, bear fruit to things that make things possible for me in my life, right? So this is very, because remember, at the bottom of this week as well is also High Priestess energy. This is very like Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy. And then you've got Virgo here as well. So this is the theme overall. So it is kind of talking about supremely already planning, knowing something. Even though it says let life surprise you, here it's like you kind of already know, you know, because you are the sign of knowing and you are nurturing in that way. So what is it that you need to have courage and do this week, Cancer? Because go ahead and do it. It's definitely possible.
Right.
Listen to your dreams this week as well, because you kind of, you're tapped into the subconscious. If you feel like you're wondering if you should stay loyal to an idea, here it's like, go ahead with the idea. You know what I mean? If you've been pussyfooting around something and you're wondering if you should just go ahead with it, whatever it is that has to do with the self and what you want, go ahead with it with this card being here. It's like your dream is definitely possible.
To me, this card this week is saying to you guys, Cancer, that there isn't anything that you cannot conquer, you know? And it's also saying that you actually want to use your ability to tap into your spirituality and use that strength, the power of mind, the power of inspiration, to sort of see you through these situations that might be very intimidating. But it's only intimidating because that's what it's actually trying to do. You know, it's trying to intimidate you. And the reason why it's not going to intimidate you is because you know that that's what it's trying to do.
Right. You're on top of it. You're kind of in front of all of that.
Yeah, you definitely are in front of it. This is a very magical card. It's one
very positive card. One of the most positive.
Yeah, this is a card that really has a high frequency to me when it's actually excelling, right? When it's in this positive polarity. This is a softness that also has a strength to it. Hi, Netherlands. We just ate stroopwafels before we sat down, and they're so good. I fucking love those things.
Okay, wow.
Leo. Okay,
this is just
because I did the reading. You guys, look at the love and relationship reading, because when he was going through something yesterday, I posted this reading and I told him that the devil card came up in the future. We went through it again today when we met up, and now Leo.
He was talking about that, but I didn't know what reading exactly it was.
He hasn't seen it yet.
This is very interesting because I haven't seen the YouTube. Another major arcana card. Once again, I will reiterate, we're on number 5. Every single sign has gotten a major arcana card so far this week. So again, another major week for another sign. And it's Leo this time. And you got Capricorn, the devil card. So this is definitely talking about restrictions, heritage, money, anything that makes you feel like
you can't move.
Right, the mountain, the obstacle.
Yes.
Maybe all of a sudden someone might have tried to put an obstacle in front of you, or somebody might try to do something really pannish somehow.
You're faced with one now, probably.
Like, yeah, you're faced with an obstacle, or somebody's trying to control you, maybe because of a sexual attraction. This is a very sexual, lustful card. So it could be very much to do with you being lustful and keeping somebody restricted, or somebody restricting you because they're so enamored with you and they can't control the way that they have you. So there's some type of thing to do with money and emotion around it. This is also karma and restriction because Saturn is there. So
someone has taken the harmony out of a relationship, and you guys feel, or one of you, or both of you, or maybe this is you, yourself, feel like someone is not allowing you to be who you should be. You know what I mean? And it's like they're creating the obstacle for you so as to use and maybe even control you a little bit. It's like an unhealthy attachment to something
unhealthy
that knows it's unhealthy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's like it's very unhealthy. It's nasty.
A day-to-day.
There's definitely there's some type of tie to something that isn't good for you. It could be a relationship. It could be the way someone sees you. It could be the way you see someone else. But there are a lot of restrictions. Maybe somebody's trying to box you in, which is really kind of like definitely not trying to put a lion in a box. Like, I don't know why you would try to do that. Or somebody is trying to possibly control or instigate a situation. And it could definitely have to do with something physical, period. Something earthly. Like it'd have to do with your body or their body, or children or apartments, real estate, work, anything that's a pentacle, anything that is physical, a noun. It could even be an idea of something like a business or something, or family, because family can be very restrictive for different reasons. Heritage even. Heritage could be keeping you restricted somehow.
Time is running out, I feel, you know, because with this candle burning, it's down to the wax, and it's getting closer and closer to, you know, what the focus of the actual problem is in this picture, which is the devil. You know what I mean? It's like you've had all this
And it's like
time.
A distraction because the point is going down.
It is, because you're focused on the candle burning, but meanwhile, the devil is really staring you right there in the face. So it's saying if you know that there's something that you don't want to be a part of anymore, then it's up to you to realize that it's up to you to change it. You know what I mean?
We haven't done Virgo yet. Virgo's coming up next.
Y'all are always the ones
always
to ask.
And you're always asking at this time.
At this time. It's so
funny.
crazy.
It's always at this time, right before Virgo comes in. It's like Virgo or Libra. But Virgo, overall, you are the theme in the botanicals. So overall, it is talking about progression and patience with things. And relationship to Leo in this situation, there's definitely something to do with letting life surprise you and breaking addictions of sorts. And people are addictions too. Habits that may have been on an earthly plane or routines may be changing now for you. Or you might have the courage, you might have to have the courage somehow to overcome like some type of physical constraint, okay?
Yeah, it's like you guys are not following each other's footsteps, but the footsteps are crossing over, which means that you guys spend a lot of time around each other, and there's foot traffic around how you spend time around each other, you know what I mean? And there might be other people as well that might be attached to the unhealthy situation. Whatever it is, the energy is not good.
Yeah, because then it's only like, and there's like somebody's being one-sided in the situation, and the card is coming up for you, so I'm guessing it's probably something that you're against.
Right.
All right, moving on. We're getting a breath of fresh air here with Virgo. Ironically, you are all throughout the reading in general, because like I said, asters, which is a Virgo flower of elegance and patience, is the theme this week.
Right.
But you are a minor arcana card. But the minor arcana card that came out is an ace. So it's still kind of very significant. It's an ace of rods. And for you guys, this is really good right now because you kind of need it. You kind of, I think you guys had some major things going on, especially because I think the Hierophant showed up at one point either last week or the week before. So I know work has been kind of trying, and your commitments, whatever you're committed to, has been challenging in some way, a physical commitment. It could be a commitment as far as like marriage or union or work. Like you are, you know, your day-to-day routine is very important to you. So some type of constraint that way. This is Aries. So this is talking about something new and spirited.
Yes, you do need to work your magic moon, child.
Yeah, it's like being creative. If you're wondering if you should go ahead and start this new thing that you've been sitting on, this is the week to go ahead and do it. Go ahead and have the conversation. Go ahead and write the poem. Go ahead and write the song. Go ahead and go to the audition. Go ahead and, like, if you think you're pregnant, you're probably pregnant. Like, there's a lot of, like, I'm just saying if you know, that was a message for some of you out there, because this is very, like, baby card. Baby, right? Because it's Aries, it's spirited.
Getting it in.
Or you're getting it in. This is very, like, passion, too. This is like, I met a new crush. I was single, and now I met someone this week. Or this is like, I have a new idea. I was feeling writer's block, and all of a sudden, I had the new idea to write the new thing, and I'm going to do it now. So, this is a...
All right,
okay. So, this is like, this could be anything that is spirited.
Right.
You know?
I feel like it's definitely an impassioned energy. It's very fresh, like he said before, and it's a change. It's an initiation. You might be switching a focus on like a direction you wanted to go in doing something.
New start.
You may have, yeah, exactly. You might be just starting a new job, or you might be just starting a new relationship with someone, and you're starting to feel those first levels or the first stages of like the attraction, and like that you actually really do like this person. Or it might be a job, or it might be an activity that you want to do. Yeah.
Or starting to feel something different.
Definitely change.
For someone
right.
who might not be new.
Definitely
right? Because this is very progressive.
Oh, yeah.
Right? This is progressive. And you have the High Priestess at the bottom in a major way for everybody. So it's talking about hidden emotions.
For you.
So you may have a new emotion in general. And it could be for someone that's in your life already.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's
like
routine,
a family member, or like, you know, anything like a lover, or you could be in a relationship and feel something new about the relationship.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's talking about a new reason to do things, a new situation. I thought it was this, but now I feel this way about it.
It's like, you know, your routine is experiencing.
Definitely loving yourself more. That's great. This is a very self card as Aries all throughout.
Your routine is experiencing a change, but it's not saying your entire routine is changing. Right. It's an addition to your routine. So something else is coming in to change up the dynamic of your routine, but it's still going to feel like it's a routine for you. Like you can implement it with, you know, with confidence. Yeah, because this is a very confident card. You know,
it's definitely a change of focus, and it's not a change of focus mentally.
No,
it's a change of focus spiritually.
Right.
Right. It's like the way you, like the desire you have for something may change its level or change its focus.
Right. You're like, well, why am I doing it? What's the meaning behind why I'm doing it? All right, Libra. Okay.
Okay, meeting a Gemini for the first time. That's interesting. You're a Virgo meeting a Gemini for the first time. Gemini got Virgo this week.
All right, Libra. I feel like you guys are getting another card that you've gotten recently, which is Jupiter and Capricorn. So you're really thinking about like how to make use of resources. You're thinking about how to make use of your time, and you're also juggling the fact that you've got to make time for things that aren't probably a part of your routine, your everyday, right? This is kind of like making little changes within your routine as things start to come in, right? It's like you might have had to change an appointment to another day, and then you're available to do something else. This is definitely making time with people too. You might be scheduling meetings with people, and you also might be trying to delegate and allocate funds, you know, changing things around, seeing where things might work. You're saving money, and you're also being very useful with your time too.
Yeah, this is Jupiter and Capricorn. So for some of you, your partner might seem like an obstacle this week a little bit. You could be just weighing things out. You could be weighing out your routine, or why they do certain things a certain way, or why you do things a certain way. Definitely in the long haul. It's not bad. It's just like maybe you're beginning to weigh out maybe your routine or the way you show affection in a physical way. Making it better, making it work, thinking about the emotions behind it and how you guys got to this place. So there's more work to be done there.
Right.
And you're anticipating that because it's a 2 and the High Priestess is there. Right. So that's kind of like,
it's definitely,
you know, you could be weighing out your finances. This is here saying, like, I know that there's more work that I'm going to have to put into something. I'm getting ready to put more work into it. Also, Capricorn being there, Leo did get the Devil card as well. So both of you could be looking at some obstacles together with something, if you're working together somehow, or obstacles, maybe you're affecting each other somehow, or you just, you know, there's something to do with the mountain there, because
definitely,
that is, you know, that's still very much there, and in a sense, that's 2 Capricorn placements.
Right.
And you are sextile to Leo, so you guys do affect each other a lot.
That's true. It's like you're thinking of ways to grow your finances, right? It's like you're thinking about ways to grow.
Birds in the
and
back.
make more money and accumulate the coin. And it's almost like you already know what to do to make that happen, right? Because it's been something that you've been feeling for a while. And it's saying, here, look at all that water behind him. There are things floating on the water. So it's actually working.
Right. There's a lot of mystery around how it's going to affect your feelings, the work.
Oh my God, it's working. But you also have to do something about it first to see if it's going to work or not. You know what I mean?
Definitely a waiting period, because this card is in relationship to Temperance. So it's like, you know, gearing yourself up for like a longer endurance, for something that could be really beneficial. Once you make it to the top of the mountain, it's going to be really beneficial. Jupiter, right? So it's like mastering something. Right. This is really about mastering something.
This is pretty good too for you, because it's like it's talking about a sense of feeling grounded within making these new choices, right? Because you've got to be grounded to make these choices that are very effective for you. You know, so if you guys are thinking about going out and looking for another job, or thinking about ways to, you know, make money, or if you're thinking about selling some of your clothes or selling some of your stuff, you know what I mean, to make some money, maybe you need to sell some stuff to build up the cash to get a new computer or something like that, you know what I mean, because those are very important things. Scorpio.
Okay, Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio, minor arcana card. It's the Knight of Pentacles. This is a Virgo card, and this is a Virgo time.
Yeah.
So this is like the card that, you know, the Knights can be very surprising or talk about things that happen suddenly. So maybe something did happen suddenly, possibly this past week or this week for you that affects your finances somehow. Or there could be an intimidation around your finances or a progression in that. You're like wondering, my ex is a Scorpio, okay? You're like wondering somehow, or with that being there, you're talking about exes. Pentacles are also people. So there could be an intimidation somehow with meeting someone, or with sex, with sexuality somehow, or with some type of proof. Right, you want to know the proof, or you want to know the reasoning, or you want to know the finite. You're not going to be tricked in this. You're thinking about progression in this. So there could be something in that regard. Maybe somebody did something intimidating somehow. Hello. Maybe somebody did something intimidating somehow to you or to someone that you love.
Right.
Virgo could be associated in it somehow. So maybe you're being overly critical, or they're being overly critical, or you feel like intimidated by the critique somehow, or somebody's being seen innocently and someone isn't. You're the person, or you know someone that, you know, this is very like that type of card, right?
I feel like you guys are actually understanding a little bit more about your situation, and it's allowing you to plan appropriately, you know, because this is a Virgo card, and the asterisk card, you know, of the week for everybody is also a Virgo card. So it's talking about the ability to work within a process, do it effectively, not rush anything, and also you're not going to be getting bogged down, or you're not going to be getting restricted by your feelings, because it's really something that you're trying to produce, and you're doing it actually for the betterment of everyone.
Right.
So there isn't any sort of like feeling of making a decision that's going to hurt anybody or anything like that.
It's progression.
Right, it's progression. So
slow,
it's absolutely,
it's elegant,
slow, it's patient,
integrity, it's respectful,
it's careful. So you're taking a little bit more care, you know, when you're involved with other people and in the situations that you find yourself in with them. It's like you're taking a little bit more care. It's like you're pruning something. It's like you're getting in there and you want to understand it a little bit more, and not try to understand it so that you have an advantage, but so that you can actually procure something that is going to be beneficial for everyone in the long run.
Yeah. Watch your diet this week. You know, some of you could have some digestive.
This is a good card, yeah.
It's a good card for the most part. Watch your diet this week.
Though.
Like some of you could be, you know, Virgo rules the digestive tract.
Look, I'm following.
So like, you know, make sure with the things that you eat this week, you don't want to be like, intimidated somehow by something sudden that happens with your appetite or with your diet or something.
Yeah.
So definitely be like careful with that as well.
Me too. We have Mercury in Virgo, so I think we're definitely thinking about what we put into our bodies. I know that I'm Venus ruled, so I love sweet things. You know what I mean? I gotta be careful.
Okay. All right, Sagittarius, you got a major arcana card.
Back to the majors.
Okay, so once again, lots of major arcana cards, lots of major weeks going on. Hi.
Yes, you gotta eat clean. Yeah. That's what I say for Virgos. Eat clean. Don't eat a lot of greasy foods.
Virgos
don't
very easily, you know, the digestive tract. So Scorpio, be careful this week with that, okay? Yeah. Sagittarius, you got the Hierophant.
You love this.
Okay, so Sagittarius, this is talking about work. So you're loving that. You know, commitment, that could be a little bit more on the challenge for Sagittarius because you guys just want to run, do you, live out your dream. And this is talking about commitment as well. So on the work front, it's saying like maybe work is going really well right now. Good for you. You know, for Sagittarius, that's good because you guys are money makers and you just want to spend and burn and do. Don't hold you back.
This is great.
But in your commitments, it might be a little bit more of a challenge this week.
Right.
Maybe with your lover or with something related to work that requires a commitment somehow. You're committed to the money. You're committed to how you have to do this process. Your reputation is a commitment, right? So it could be any of those things that is highlighted that's requiring some type of mercy. Either mercy on your part. Mercy, Sagittarius. Mercy. Don't hold your tongue. Do not hurt them. Do not hurt them. Or it could be talking about having compassion, looking at the spiritual. You are higher learning in this way, and this is a very physical card, but it talks about spiritual as well. This is a very spiritual card. Look. There's a conflict between the spiritual and the physical. You could be focusing too much on the physical. Maybe you've had to do a lot of work, and you're wondering why you had to work this much, and like you're losing sight. For Sagittarius, you are so endurance prone. So it's saying here, don't lose sight of like the spiritual reason in the midst of all the physical that's going on, okay?
Yeah. So, you know, the fives are talking about
conflict.
But the fives are talking about conflict that arises out of harmony, right? So then there's talking about good, and then they're talking about evil. They're talking about positive. They're talking about negative. How can you appreciate the principles of what it means to experience highs and lows, right? You have to go to a spiritual place. You have everything that you need, right? It's the Hierophant. It's not the Five of Pentacles. So it's saying you've got everything you need. Now it's time to appreciate things. Or it's saying that you're going to need your spirituality now because you have Jupiter coming into your sign. And then it's just saying that, you know, you got to stay grounded, and you got to also remember to create boundaries for yourself within this expansion. And I know that sounds like an oxymoron, but it is something that you have to do. You know, we have this big world. We can travel to outer space and everything like that, but we know what we can and cannot do.
Right. This is Taurus, by the way. So if you do have a Taurus in your life, or you have a strong Taurus placement somehow, look at that. Taurus is about what you have. So you could be thinking about what you have, or that Taurus could be thinking about what they have. You know, Taurus is about ownership too, real estate, anything in relationship to that. You're welcome.
I thought you were giving us an email.
It's also like, you know, you could be easily drawn somehow to jealousy this week. So think about that, because it also talks about ownership, and Taurus see red, you know, and all that type of stuff. So just think about the conflicts that rise physically that lead to a higher learning somehow. It could be saying, love you.
You can have the life you want, you know, if you just stay honest and pure.
Because this is physical. Virgo is here, and Taurus is here as well.
Not saying on a religious sense, not saying like, just don't have sex and stuff. I'm saying just as long as you know what to look to for guidance. You know what I mean? You can have the life you want.
You're turning to a commitment this week in a physical way. It was really highlighted. Okay. All right, Capricorn. You got King of Rods, which is fiery.
What did you do?
You are conjunct to Sagittarius, so Sagittarius could be communicating with you this week for sure.
Yeah.
Your mind, what did you do?
Yeah,
your mind is fixed on something fiery
My
here.
My cousin's a Capricorn.
So there could be a male, there could be a male in your life that you love, that you feel very passionate towards, or there could be a male in your life that's causing a lot of passion in your life, anger somehow. Or you're the male that's being very anger, like there's a lot, or love, giving something very passionate this week, because this is definitely talking about a person a lot of the times, and it's a male. So you could be the male, or there could be a male in your life, your brother, your cousin, your father, a co-worker, your boss.
You like this person, whoever they are, because they keep things interesting and they sort of like keep your wheels turning.
Patience,
right.
Holding on elegantly. Maybe you've had your eye on this person.
Persistent. That's what I'm getting to, because Virgo energy is very persistent. They will not let up. Kind of like Gemini, but in a different way. So it's like this.
They won't let up. I had to block a Virgo that I was dating on the new moon this week. Okay. No offense to Virgo. I love Virgo, but they did have to get blocked.
New phase.
Okay.
So this person is very like, they practice great fortitude when they're trying to get your attention. So they do it on a regular, Capricorn. And you're noticing this because Capricorn is a cardinal sign. So they like initiative. And they like it when people are interested in them because it gives them something to do. You know what I mean? And, you know, sometimes Capricorns can actually be seen as being very fluid in their sexuality as well, because they can see both sides. They really are trying to experience a lot of things.
You two what? You had to block somebody?
You had to block somebody. I blocked somebody.
That was a Virgo.
I blocked somebody too, and they might be.
This is the time of Virgo, first of all. So communication, perfect communication. You can't communicate more perfectly than hanging up.
Listen, you guys. Listen. This high priestess. This high priestess energy is subconscious talking to you. So when you're starting to have those epiphanies about what your life means to you, and when you're like, wow, when I die, will I be satisfied with what happened? Well, you better know right now.
Right. And Capricorn, you're always thinking about like the whole road, the mountain, the journey, all this type of stuff.
His birthday's today, child.
Wow.
Somebody's.
So, look, we can get into personal readings. You better email us at providencetarot@gmail.com, because look, this week for a lot of you is major arcana. So it's like, whoa, we will be doing a sale, which we'll get to later on. But like, you know, for a lot of you, you need to think about getting a personal reading because it is a major week. I mean, a lot of us are going back into a routine now. We started our job. We buckled down with the school year, this, that, and the other. So Capricorn, there is a male that makes you feel things in a hot way, like spiritedly, like you either really want them, and it could be Leo because your card came up, and this is a Leo card, and you guys have been interacting with each other a lot, Capricorn and Leo. So it definitely could be a Leo that makes you hot.
Y'all planning something.
Hot, angry, hot, sexual, hot, spiritedly, something. You could be naturally, you like your cake and eat it too. And the Leo could actually be feeling constricted somehow because of that. So there's definitely something to look at, because Leo did get the Devil card, which is the major card for you. So I just say you're feeling very crafty this week too. So in business, it could be good. In love, it could be good in a sense, or it could be like things are just coming to a head somehow.
You're trying to like, I think you're trying to get something in somewhere that's not really usual or not normal or not like part of your routine. And it's like you almost want to be intimately involved with someone because it is going to be exciting for you and not the ordinary. Something like that. That's what I'm getting. Or you might be attracted to someone that's out of the normal or out of the ordinary for you. And I think that you might be intrigued by that.
Whatever it is, I mean, with the Leo energy around it, it usually has to do with your heart. And the Virgo energy being here this week, it's like not a surprise, whatever it is, because it's fixed. So it's like whoever it is that you feel this way about, you know that you've been feeling this way about them for quite some time. It could even be years with this kind of energy here. So it's like, you know, it could be like a very slow.
That's definitely something that could happen. You could be waiting to do it with somebody for a long ass time because you're Virgo and you need
it's got to be perfect. It's got to be perfectly done in the way that you need it to be, and then you're gonna really go for it.
But sometimes y'all be getting tempted. Look at Beyonce. She likes to show us all the fire, but then at the same time, she's like, "Oh, I'm just me. I'm just me."
Right, because it's all about the way you're seeing. It's interesting, we talk a lot about Virgo just then in the Capricorn. This is for Capricorn, just to reiterate if you just got in. Capricorn, we're talking about you having some passions for some man in your life.
Right.
And that could be the father. There could be something simple like, oh, I have a fight with my father this week. Or it could be like, my hubby came home and we had some passionate sex.
Right.
Or I had a crush with somebody. I always like that crush. Or my boss is driving me crazy because he's a fixed male in my life.
Right.
There's so many different ways to look at the King of Wands.
It's like the energy with that person is getting a little flare up or something. Okay, let's keep
going.
Okay,
Aquarius. Aquarius. Woo! Major Arcana. Major Arcana.
Honey.
This is one of our more of our favorite ones, but which is a scarier one for a lot of people. The Death card. This is very significant for me because I have a lot of fixed placements too. And my midhaven is Aquarius, which means that that's in general, that's how you guys see me. I'm a Leo, so when you get to know me and you see my actions, you see them as Leo, but my midhaven is an Aquarius, so when you're watching me on social media, a lot of the times you're seeing me in a very Aquarian way. So it's very interesting, but this is talking about transformations, right, and endings. So for Aquarius...
I think that Leo, it's interesting, Leo is actually ruled, where Leo is in my chart is ruled by Aquarius, you know what I mean? And I also have Venus there. It's just very interesting, like the parallels, because like, anyway, I'm sorry.
Side tangent, right? Sometimes we have epiphanies while we're reading But this is talking about death in general, being an ending to something.
On the new moon.
The new moon just happened yesterday in Virgo. We got Virgo as a theme, Aquarius. Aquarius, you're going through a huge transformation right now. Whatever you thought is about to end. Like, this is something finite. So it's talking about transformations. Something that will no longer be. Something new has to happen, a resurrection of new feeling, new emotion, internally, externally. It's over. This is very Scorpio. Yeah, so you could be dealing with a Scorpio this week somehow. Definitely. Or a water sign, or a deep scorn, deep emotion somehow is arisen within you, and it caused something very transformative to happen. Just like when you get that, I mean, you could be getting a phone call definitely about a possible death, or it could be just an emotion that you feel inside. You woke up, you looked at that thing, you no longer can feel and think what you thought before. It will never be that way again. That's what this is talking about. Transformative energy.
It's definitely transformative. You know, retrograde and eclipse season.
It's not even really a surprise with this.
Right. You've already been dealing with this because Mars...
It's like slowly now you really know it's finite.
You've already been dealing with this because Mars has been in your sign. Mars has been in your sign, and it was retrograde for a while, and now it's in Capricorn, but it is direct, and it's getting ready to come back into Aquarius. So whatever it is that you were going through, or that you were unsure of, or that you were anticipating would change, is going to change. And it's an intuitive feeling. When you have the Death card and the High Priestess as your influential card for the week, this is saying that you've been anticipating something ending, right? And it might be a different, it might be a concept. It might be a perception.
A noun.
It might be a relationship
person, place, or
with
thing
somebody.
or idea.
Right, exactly. Like your 7th house is Leo, and Leo has the Devil card, so this might be an unhealthy relationship or an unhealthy attachment that might be ending, and you fucking knew it was going to happen.
And you knew it, too, because look, the High Priestess, this is
major stuff.
Look, we're not about to get into a whole reading with you, Aquarius, but this is deep, child. The tea, let me sip some coffee.
And Leo, now that we see that Aquarius has the Death card, this is, we have time. And now that we see that Aquarius has the Death card, this is going back to Leo. It's like in your house of relationships, there's an unhealthy attachment that is ending for you too.
Child, end it. Look. Like, end it, child.
Honey.
The emotions that you're going to get from the transformation of not having to feel how whatever you've been feeling, you know, from the 5, 6, 7 of Cups energy, basically, because that's what Scorpio gives. Basically, there was an emotional scorn that you kept playing into, whatever reason. You wanted to share the scorn. You could have been sharing the scorn with people. Then you had to make a choice between you and that feeling. And now there's a transformation that's happening out of it, like a major transformation. Right. And so that is really good, because you're so mental. So you could have been in a place for quite some time, You know, and so this is really good. No matter what, even if you do have intimidations around it, and I'm saying that only because I'm looking at Scorpio's card this week, which is a Knight. And it's a Virgo Knight. It's a Knight of Pentacles. So it's like you could, Aquarius, be having intimidations over something emotional that has something to do with your finances or something to do with your pleasure, like a relationship or something like that. But it's good because whatever it is, it's ending, which means something new is beginning.
It's so interesting that
change is good.
You mentioned like the Scorpio card or the card that is in the house of Scorpio for this week, which is Virgo, Knight of Pentacles. And then it's like the Death card is here, which is talking about Scorpio, and Jupiter's there right now, and it's talking about expansions, and then it's also talking about
parallels.
It's just really crazy. So yeah, I mean, you're expanding through this ending because Jupiter is in Scorpio, and you got the Scorpio card for the week. So it really is good.
I want to take my head down and let you lay in it, child.
It's been needing to happen, you guys.
It has been needing to happen. It is beautiful, actually, because ever since that eclipse happened and the full moon, super moon that happened in your sign, you really have kind of been going through a transformative period. So it's almost like saying the transformation is kind of coming to an end a little bit here inside of you. So that's
We're giving you like, it's shadowy here. All right, Pisces, let's see what y'all got.
All right, last card out. Pisces.
All right.
Okay. Venus in Aquarius. On a positive note, let's talk about the positive aspects of this card first, because this is actually more of a negative card in the sense because it's talking about conflicts. On the positive or higher polarity, it could be like your love is in an Aquarius this week. You know? Like your mind could be fixed on something that you think is beautiful. Or you, if you're a Pisces, you're welcome. If you're a Pisces and you know an Aquarius, they could really be bringing a lot of beauty for you this week somehow. You could be finding them beautiful, or they could help you create some type of beauty. Also, Aquarius is talking about the star card, which is hope, faith in oneself. Many of you have a wish, and you could be having conflict with that wish somehow. You know, like you.
It's like,
it could be to do with an establishment. It could be to do with your lover or with a group, like your like maybe you're in a roommate setting, or your co-workers, or your family, because 5 a lot is the family, which is the Hierophant. For some of you, it could have to do with the Sagittarius, because Sagittarius got 5, which was the Hierophant. And this is 5 as well. It's a 5 of swords. So it could be like some type of mental conflict that you're having with the Sagittarius. That's definitely possible. Or you're running like a race in your mind with something that you think is beautiful. The sky is electrically charged. Some of you, this could be talking about slander within. So you're being very self-defeating this week. Being very slanderous to yourself or to someone else somehow. Like you're being very like, it's just too caught up with mentally some expectation, and now you're making the beauty go out because you want something to be a certain way.
He's right, because you know I live with a Pisces, and you know I won't go into any details because you know that might mean something for a Pisces. You know, and that's just that goes into
Pisces
the part.
Gets
you see what I mean?
Hung up on the emotions. It's so well, you crazy. Said this. Well, you said that. This is gossiping. And no.
Yeah. So this right here. You're
trying to hurt me, Pisces.
You're in a mental conflict, and I feel like this isn't based on what someone is telling you or saying to you or making you feel directly. This is indirect. This is slander through seeing commercialization, things like that. What is the status quo? What does everyone else believe? What does everyone else think about me? Should I be concerned with other people's thoughts? Why do they feel this way about me? And it's like they don't feel that way about you, Pisces. You're making it out to be that they feel this way or think this way about you. You know, you're letting a misconception sort of steer your emotions, and it's taking out the beauty, and it's allowing you to see more of a shadow side rather than the lighter side of a situation. If there's something that you need to gain mental control over, then it's like you need to start giving yourself these affirmations that are more positive. You know, what you say goes out there, and then it becomes institutionalized in the realm of existence, right? Because it's like you're speaking it, so you're making it, you're materializing it a little bit more and more every time. So then you start to believe things are true that actually really are not true.
This is a very naturally, the sun is opposing you right now. So this is kind of like a harder time for you with certain things, because you very much need to have unconditional love and be accepted who you are. Your environment affects you. Don't, you know, just take me as I am. Let me just like be naked and love me and be crazy and let me root for the underdog, Pisces, like this type of stuff. Just like I did that thing, but you know, forgive me, and like we're here. You know, very Pisces. Whereas Virgo is kind of very judgmental, very orderly, you know, with everything, and very like not looking at the emotions. It's like, just do what I said do, and then we're going to check it off the list and feel good about it. Virgo.
Stop Whereas talking Pisces about how you're being affected by it.
Yeah, the emotions of what you affected and da-da-da-da-da. So, you know, something to look at here, just because...
We're not wagging our finger at you. We're just telling you that there is a better way.
Yeah, there's just some conflict. And it's temporary. That's the good thing. It's minor, and it's temporary. So it could almost be fickle. Like, it could be like just a disagreement of some sort, or getting your mind around something so that you can understand what's beautiful in the situation, or how to make it beautiful, because the sky is electrically charged right now. So there could definitely be some arguments going on for some reason for some of you. It could have happened already, or it's going to happen, and hopefully it's progressive. Just try to think about problem solving with this being the theme. You know?
Be more thoughtful. This
has to do with your commitments. Because it's a 5. So it has to do with your commitments. It's like your mental commitments, either to a person or to your job somehow. There could be conflicts at work a lot this week. So that's something to think about.
It's like you have the ability to tear yourself down in ways that other people can't. And that's for everybody. We all have Pisces. We all have that subconscious. But you are the subconscious, right? So you have to tap into, your card came up for the week, into believing what you know, and stop lying to yourself about things that aren't really true. You know what I mean? It's like, you are beautiful. You don't need to tell everybody else to believe that you are, and to not think that you are. You know what I mean? It's like, Pisces energy is really special, you know, because it sort of like gets to this place of exalted energy. You know, it's like, wow.
Some of you are overly concerned that like your mate or someone else is being very critical of you. With this being here, with the Asters, it's almost like let life surprise you, like it said, Pisces. So like you have to have some patience with things that you don't understand. And there is some letting go, or just deciding to not look at this thing in this way. It's almost like, is the glass half empty or is the glass half full for you? And with this card being here, you know what I mean? It's like, how do you want to transform this energy? You want to look at it in a way that's progressive. Right?
Because how are you progressing out of this? This is another thing that the card of the week is saying. How are we progressing with the energy that we're faced with here?
Be emotionally fair in situations too, right? Like, be emotionally fair with understanding, and try to move away from the conflict, because, you know, Mercury in Aquarius is a very positive card, but this card, Venus doesn't really like to be in Aquarius. She is a little bit more constraint going on there. It's like, what is beautiful, and who determines that? Me or someone else? You know.
You have to realize that beauty is not what one person says it is, and beauty is not
really the eye of the beholder.
It really is the eye of the beholder. So it's like, you know, Helen Goldberg says about this card, just because you think it doesn't make it so, or just because you say it doesn't make it so. So it's like, you are really being able to appreciate the fact that you might want to change some things. You might want to change a thought process. You might want to change a concept, or, you know, just the perception that you have about yourself, that you've been made to think by society at large. You know, the institution that is communication, social media, magazines, TV.
Yeah. Move away from mental conflict, right? That's basically the theme for you, Pisces, there. And you intuitively know how with the High Priestess, so move into that, okay?
You guys.
Let's do our recap. This was juicy. It was a very, very, very interesting and juicy.
Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
All right, really quickly, the recap. All right, so major weeks going on. Aries, you're building something this week, and it really has to do with the self. So don't be afraid. Don't be overly selfish, overly aggressive, but it's definitely possible to fulfill this thing that you have always wanted.
Taurus, I feel like you guys are definitely starting to have realizations of what you can create, what your abilities are, and what you're capable of. And you're also encouraging other people to do the same thing because you're realizing how it's giving you energy.
Gemini, major arcana card as well. You got the Hermit, which is Virgo. So Virgo could be definitely affecting you this week, or it could be saying like evolve in your communication. Don't just communicate just to communicate to be understood. You have to communicate in order to be progressive in it, right? In order to make words land and to see something physically happen from the communication.
Right.
Okay?
Cancer, you are actually realizing that with the energy of the Pisces full moon that just passed and with this Virgo energy, you can stand strong in knowing that you have the capabilities and the strength to provide a situation with the assertiveness that it is appropriate for it.
Leo, so this card you got was the Devil card. Don't let somebody hold you in a constraint emotionally. Overcome your fears and your addictions, and that could be a person, place, thing, or an idea. Listen to your heart. If there's something to do with an obstacle, you have what it takes to move on past it. Don't allow these things to continue holding you. Break the cycle.
Right. Virgo, a change in your activity or something that you have done has caused a change in your routine, but it's positive and it's going to afford you something. What matters is how you move forward with the next steps in the process.
New spark. Okay, Libra, you are having obstacles with some of the things that you want this week. And that's okay. It's like a waiting period for you. It's like, go ahead and do the planning that is necessary, and it'll be beneficial in the long run. It's about mastering something physically that you want. Even if that something physical is another person, have patience with that person. Some of you are having obstacles with your lover this week.
And Scorpio, you're starting to see a situation for what it actually is worth. And you're using basic principles, of materialization and actual productivity. You're being a little bit more productive and you're not allowing the intimidation factor to stop you.
This is the recap, so go back and watch it, okay, for Cancer. Sagittarius, you got the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is talking about looking at your commitments, point out. Looking at the commitments of work, looking at the commitments in your relationships, and where the conflicts lie between the physical and the spiritual within those commitments.
And Capricorn, you are definitely having some interactions with a fiery male. It could be a female as well. But this person does really believe in the way that they feel about you and the way that they affect you. And it's not in a negative way. They're starting to get more involved with your daily life. And that's a good thing.
Aquarius, major arcana card for you as well. You got the Death card. This card this week is talking about accepting the transformation that's going on inside of you emotionally. Looking at whatever deep feelings and deep scorns that may have happened or are happening and accepting the transformation. How are you going to go about accepting this transformation? It is a finite one. Very dense. So, the ending of something is beautiful because it signifies new beginnings in other aspects, making room in your life for things that are better for you.
Pisces, don't allow the institution of your mind to get contaminated with, methods of communication that are beyond your control. You're beautiful.
All right, so that's your overall. Just remember, keep progressing forward. Patience and elegance, the asters were the theme.
You guys, I'm thinking of something like wherever you feel like, if you have Aries, if you have planets in any of these signs, look at what those planets mean, and then listen to this message.
Back and listen
because
to
you can listen to this entire reading for yourself. You don't have to skip over all the other signs because you have houses that are represented by all of this.
So if you know that you have Mars in Cancer or Leo and, you know, the Sun in Leo or whatever, this is how you learn things. You learn what that planet signifies. Mercury signifies communication, or Mars signifies what I want. If your Mars is in Scorpio, then what you want, then look at what Scorpio is talking about this week. Oh, there's a knight there. I'm intimidated with what I want this week. This is kind of how we can kind of help you get into the consensus of whatever it is. Definitely always look at your sun, moon, and rising. Because your moon is how you see yourself. Your sun is how the world sees you. And your rising is your existing state. Okay?
Yeah. Are you thinking... We're going to do a special this month, you guys.
We are.
And is it going to be what we...
It is going to be what we discussed.
Okay. So, you guys, it's going to be a half-hour reading for $40, which is a discounted rate. And we're going to do those readings individually. And if you want to be read by either of us, we will leave that information like on our Instagrams. I'm at NYC Kendrick, but I will leave that info on Kendrick NYC, okay? Because NYC Kendrick is not really...
You can, of course, email us, providencetarot@gmail.com. We're eventually working on emails that will spring off of that because we're starting to do individual readings a little bit more. But right now, providencetarot@gmail.com if you guys have any questions. You know, last month we did the flash sale, 15 minutes for $20. We're trying to give you guys a special every month. The special this month, normally we do a single half-hour reading for $50 or a double reading with both of us for $60 for the half hour. Right now we're offering $40 with one of us individually so that you can start connecting with us more individually, and you're saving $10. So it's a great deal if you want to connect with us. Like we said, it's a major week. It's a major week for Aries, a major week for Taurus, a major week for Gemini, a major week for Cancer, Leo, Sagittarius, and Aquarius. A little bit more minor weeks, but still an intimidating week somehow for Scorpio. And a new initiations for Virgo. You're definitely thinking about your finances and what's beneficial for you, Libra. And you're fixed on some man, Capricorn. I mean, you really are. So think about how that man is affecting your spirit. Okay?
Yes. providencetarot@gmail.com if you'd like to have a double reading with us. You know, those rates are a little bit different. I believe Dale is going to create a Providence Tarot Dale at gmail.com. So if you guys just hold off for a little bit, once he creates it, then you'll be able to email him if you want a private reading from him. Mine is obviously Providence Tarot Kendrick. That's Kendrick, just like Kendrick Lamar, at gmail.com.
And our regular company email is still up in effect,
still Providence
which
Tarot,
is Providence Tarot.
We're just
everything is Providence Tarot.
Everything is Providence Tarot. We're just trying to make the flash sale a little bit easier and more efficient. With how we are processing it. Yeah, we both have Mercury and Virgo. I've got Mars and Virgo, so I'm compelled to, you know, process things. So that's great. You know, Dale is at Shanti on Fridays.
I'm at Shanti on Fridays from 11:30 to 5. If you want to do a walk-in, we do 15-minute increments. And it's been very exciting and it's successful because it's just like, you never know what you're going to get in that aspect. You guys just walk in and I listen to the energies and I help people as much as I can while I'm there. And I'm really enjoying it. So come by and see me. 14th Street in between 3rd and 2nd. Kendrick is there on Sundays.
I'm there on Sundays, 11:30 to 3:30. This Saturday night, I'll be there from 5 to 9. It's 230 East 14th Street between 2nd and 3rd Avenues. And when you're there, you can get some clearing sprays, some oils, malas, bracelets, beautiful stones, and we have certain stones that other shops don't carry in the New York area or in, you know, Manhattan or whatnot. But yeah, we love you guys too, so try to
you can go in there and you can get different stones. This is a moonstone I got wrapped in copper. right? So it's like I have it close to me right now. I was feeling like I have a Cancer moon, and I was drawn to the moonstone. And Cancer, you guys got my card. I'm a Leo, Sun in Leo. You got the Strength card this week. So I'm definitely listening to this, right? Okay, so
all right, you guys,
be encouraged.
We're going to go. Enjoy.
We'll see you soon. Enjoy the week.
Bye.
Bye. Mwah.